Just 300 metres away from the main buildings of the EU institutions in Brussels, 150 male migrants live in miserable conditions in this squat. Malik, a 30-year-old asylum seeker from Senegal, showed Euronews inside.
All this is different communities. Here we live in communities. Like here you get the Palestinian community living there. Here you get the African community living here. All this place is African people who sleep here who come from the Francophone region.
Everyone here has submitted their asylum applications to the authorities but haven't been able to find a shelter due to overcrowding in the Belgian capital. People live in squalor, dirty toilets, rubbish and flies everywhere. But they say it's still better than being out on the streets in winter. Authorities are set to evacuate the occupied building in 2 weeks' time. Malik thinks after that, many of the people here will become homeless, like the 3,000 other migrants who sleep rough in Brussels.
And once it closes, we hope to find a place in the federal system. But if we don't find it, most of us will go to the parks, and people will be in the metro stations and in the train stations.
The Belgian government lately decided to prioritise women, children, families and elderly people at migrant shelters. This means the odds are stacked against single men hoping to find accommodation. Both NGOs and migrants decry the decision.
Most of the men, they feel discriminated of this decision because they are also human beings. So they should also be given the same rights as any other human being. And they feel discriminated, so it's not a fair decision, and they want equal rights and justice for everybody.
NGOs insist Belgium does have the means to find a solution, for example by distributing the asylum seekers across the country. But there appears to be a lack of political will, owing to pressure from the far-right parties, claims one activist.
In the past, we've been facing far more difficult situations. In 2000, for example, 42,000 migrants, or asylum seekers, came to Belgium, and we found a solution. But now it's a political question, rather than really a logistical question.
What's behind this political question?
Well, basically that far-right parties have been pushing to define the migrant or the asylum seekers as enemies and responsible for all the bad things happening in the country or in Europe.
Last year, Belgium received 37,000 asylum requests, 40% more than the previous year. And this year, the Belgian state was condemned by a Brussels court for not respecting the human rights of the migrants.